Driving games. I've been playing Forza more often because I actually got my hands on a different model of steering wheel slash controller, which, judging by how I am saying this, I clearly did not play much before that. This time around, Serafim actually wanted to work with the channel and went ahead and sent over their latest R1 Plus model, and I have to say that I am very excited to check it out because it is genuinely fun to play with a steering wheel. I also want to thank Serafim for sponsoring this video. Now let's go ahead and dive right in. The exterior design consists of plastic, but this does feel very well built. It's got a good amount of heft to it, which is great considering that this will be used a lot on the same desk. The steering wheel has this rubber texture and padding around most of it, I want to say, which does feel very nice in hand, and I've only really tested out budget wheels, but this is definitely my favorite one so far because of that. Now, Serafim did it best here, in my opinion. On the front, you are going to find your pretty much entire controller scheme. You are going to be getting a directional pad on the left with both your left bumper and trigger, and the ABXY shown in different configurations such as the PlayStation layout, the Nintendo layout, and the Xbox layout, which does mean that you should not have any issues whatsoever using this on any platform. You will also find your right side trigger and bumper. And now in the middle, you are going to find that there is a spot for the cell phone mount to be adapted just in case you want to use this with your smartphone, which is totally possible using a very special adapter that it comes with. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Right in the middle, right underneath that, you're going to find a share, home, and options button, which are all pretty normal for just about any controller that you use for any platform. Now, right behind the wheel, you are going to find two very nicely clickable, I want to say, buttons that natively behave as your reverse / brake and acceleration buttons, and they are very satisfying to press. These are here really just in case you don't want to use the included pedals, which are more plasticky, but do offer a great amount of resistance, and I think that they are still great to use. I love that you do get two options here, which is great. It allows for a ton of flexibility. And lastly, there's going to be a Bluetooth adapter in case you want to use this on your phone with either an iPhone or Android device. Now, for this video, I will be testing it with my Pixel 6 Pro, which is an Android device, so I'll get into that pretty soon. So you can attach this to your desk with the adapted mount that is made of plastic, but this is still a good thing because it won't scratch your desk when implemented, and you can really tighten it to get the best grip on your desk. Then go ahead and connect the paddles to your steering wheel and the wheel to your PC, and there you go. It is going to immediately recognize it as a controller on PC, but it is still very seamless on other platforms as well, such as PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and the Switch. And also mobile devices will still have a pretty fine time getting used to that. So here, I would say, are the most important features about this wheel. Obviously, this isn't just a pretend device because the wheel does have a gyroscope. It is a controller after all, and this is definitely required for any steering wheel, but the quality does tend to vary. But on this one, I had a pretty great time. You still get a vibration motor that does allow for greater immersion, which I definitely appreciate. The wide compatibility between your different platforms is great here too, since this is the solution for many budget gamers regardless of what platform you're on. But enough about these things, because I want to go ahead and talk about performance. So first, the PC performance in Forza Horizon 4, which will likely be nearly identical to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Switch tests. Firstly, you will have an immediate access to using this wheel in Steam, as you'll be able to navigate the menus through the buttons built right onto it. Do remember that this is a game controller first, of course, but once you choose your game, you're pretty much good to go from there, and in this case, we went with Forza. Now, Forza won't require you to make any kind of adjustments in the settings, really, but you can if you would like, since that would definitely go some way to improving the experience for you. Now, either way, I got into the game and I had a lot of fun. This wheel felt more precise than any other that I had tested to this point, and that I felt more comfortable maneuvering it. I did drive around and definitely sped up too quickly at times, but I think that that kind of experience with these games slash controller steering wheels will definitely help improve your experience every time, since you learn to work with what you have. And in this case, you do have a great opportunity to get better at these games with better hardware. At least in my case, since I am very much speaking about myself, and it definitely shows when I'm gaining better steering control and better control over my speed. At this point, however, like any steering wheel that you get for racing games, it does still take a little bit of getting used to, just because it is so different to have to get things so precise, just so right. The easiest experience. However, if you have had experience with any other wheel like this in the past, then you're going to be totally fine with this one, no doubt. And I also very much appreciate the amount of feedback on this. Not to mention that the vibration motors on this are going to be pretty fantastic too. So I do very much feel the impact when I am playing Forza. I really like it, and I think you will too. Now, for this next test, I will connect this wheel directly to my Pixel 6 Pro through the Bluetooth adapter and fire it up Asphalt 9. This was still a great experience, but I did find myself still having to use the touchscreen at times, but I'm sure that that's just because of the game itself, because when it came to actually using this wheel on Asphalt, I had a very fun time. I thought that the constant turning on of the phone when attached to the wheel would be distracting, and that simply was not really the case. It couldn't be further from the truth. And when the game works with you in order to make that particular aspect work, I was actually surprised with how nice this experience was. 100%, and I thought it was a ton of fun. Now, would I have a setup this big just to be able to play racing games on my phone? Maybe not, but if you did want something like this, then it is totally available to you as well. So what did you think about Serafim R1 Plus? I thought that this was a super cool. Do look forward to testing more wheels like this for racing games, since I am starting to get into them a little bit more thanks to this kind of hardware. I am honestly just pretty happy with it. I really love driving in real life, and I think that this is a great way of doing it, maybe more safely, but it's also good practice for people who just kind of want an exaggerated experience of being behind the wheel, or maybe just kind of want to have a little bit of practice without endangering anybody. And I say that from experience, of course, since I was once a bad driver. So yeah, I mean, I'm very happy that I got to test it. Now, once more, thanks to Serafim for sponsoring this video, and if you decide that you want one of these, then I doubt that you'll end up regretting it. So, strongly recommend it. And if you are interested, by the way, again, in getting any of these, I will be leaving links to Amazon down in the description, and also links to the official website. Now, those links are not going to be affiliated whatsoever, so of course, don't worry about it. Just do whatever is best for you, because that's just what I would recommend in that case. So links to everything down below. If you end up using the Amazon link, that would be helping out quite a bit, but if you end up using the store link, you will still get a pretty awesome experience, so don't worry about it. Now, with that said, I also wanted to give a very special thanks to all of our patrons, and that includes the tier 3s in particular: Omar, Saada, Wazelle, and Joe Moss. Thank you so much for all of your support, because it really does go a very long way. Now, on to the rest of our patrons, the tier 2s, coming right up. And this is super important. I would just like to give a very special thanks to all of our patrons, which are going to be listed right here on the screen. Again, a massive thanks to you all for supporting us to help us create the kind of content that we bring to you on a day-to-day basis. And thank you so much for supporting the Tech Summit podcast as well. And just remember that if you would like to be a part of this community too, and then do make sure to check out the links to our Patreon, where you don't only get bonus episodes of our podcast, but you also get automatically entered into one of our monthly giveaways of a tech product that we have reviewed that is of at least $50 in value or higher. So links to that down below. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on Twitch as well, where I do like to stream fairly often. Now, with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy.